Hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I am the Brofict one. Well, I'm sorry. This is not Degenerate Takes. This is Degenerate Bets with the Brofict one, AJ. As you can see, I am not with my co-host Noah Engelbretson today. He is on the non-COVID injured reserve list right now. He will be back with us next week, but he wanted me to go ahead and steam along with my NFL Week 13 picks, starting with this Thursday. You got the Cowboys and the Saints coming in. Cowboys coming in as a 4.5 point favorite, total being at 50 points right now. And let me tell you, I'm looking at this, and there's a lot of sharp money, a lot of big money coming in. You got about 34% of the bets on the Saints, 59% of the money is on the Saints actually as well. I gotta tell you, I like the Cowboys here. Now, don't get me wrong. I have this game only as a 3 point spread, but you got Amari Cooper coming back, and that's going to be a big addition to this Cowboys team. Not to mention the fact that the Saints team is riddled with injuries. You got Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill starting at quarterback. Do do I really need to say anything else? I mean, we don't know left from right with this kid, let alone whether he can actually play football. We saw one good game out of him last season. Let's be real, and it's just been kind of rough ever since. I don't blame him whatsoever. I do blame him because it's the Saints' fault that they're paying him a stupid ton of money to do absolutely nothing, and we're about to see him actually do something. But I'm not confident with it, and the Cowboys getting embarrassed the last couple weeks. I say the dem boys roll over who dat at the Saints. And that's going to be a good Thursday night game. Honestly, the first good Thursday night game we've had in a while since the Packers Cardinals game, even though the Cardinals lost. Still a better game than probably it should have been. But shout out Whiskey for that drink break because I am alone today, so I don't have time to take a sip or anything. This is new for me, but we're going to keep rolling along because we got the Sunday slate. This Sunday slate is so nice. I am such a fan of this Sunday slate. I didn't get to talk to Noah about it, obviously, because he's not here, but through our text and everything, he's a big fan of it as well. I know he's going to disagree with a lot of the picks I'm about to make, and I'm totally okay with that. So let's keep rolling along with the Sunday slate. You got the Chargers visiting the Bengals right now. The Bengals being a 3 point favorite, total at 50 and a half. I know I'm saying these totals, and Noah's usually the total guy. I stay away from totals, but I'm going to keep letting you know what the totals are because I might find one that I like, honest to God. But you do have the Bengals as a 3 point favorite going into this game. And I mean, they're cooking. They are cooking right now. I don't know what is working, but there is something in that Bengals office, that Bengals locker room, front office, everything that is just working, and I'm a big fan of it. You do see a lot of sharp money coming in on the Bengals, however, big money, and a lot of top experts are picking the Chargers to take the 3 points. However, you also have the bets and the money, 74 and 59% respectively, on the Bengals. With all of that being said, this is not one of the times you fade the public. Because as much as I love Justin Herbert, as much as I love this Chargers team, and I love this Chargers team, I really see them making a run here. I don't see them beating the Bengals. And I can't believe I'm saying I don't see a team beating the Bengals, but the Bengals are just firing on all cylinders right now. It's kind of unbelievable what's going on. And I'm okay with it, though, because it's been kind of in the mix for a while. But even before Joe Burrow, the Bengals were kind of, they weren't the worst team in football, weren't the best. They were kind of mid-pack. But now Joe Burrow is coming out and showing how good of a quarterback he actually is, and I'm a big fan of that. Justin Herbert at the same time, don't get me wrong, extremely talented quarterback, great offense and everything. I don't think it's enough. I'm taking Bengals and the 3 all day long. Give me -3. You can give 3. Honest to God, I dare say I would take this at 4.5, 5.5. When it gets to 6.5, 7, that's when I get a little bit nervous, but Bengals -3, I think, is a good number. I'm taking that all day long. Next, we move on to the two teams I probably hate the most in the NFL. You have the Vikings and the Lions at Detroit. Vikings, a 7-point road favorite, total being at 47 points. I've tried. I really have tried with this Lions team. MCDC, I'm a big fan of his and everything he says, everything he talks about, what he does, gnawing kneecaps, all of that nonsense. I'm a big fan of it. I really am. However, God, they just can't win games. They get ahead, they are competitive and everything, but they just don't seem to be able to win, and it's unbelievable. With that being said, the Vikings, a team that has been known long term to not be able to get the job done, is getting the job done in situations that they probably shouldn't. Now, with that being said, they didn't get the job done in situations they shouldn't have as well. Let's see Vikings versus Cardinals a couple weeks ago when they missed a field goal and the Cardinals won. I mean, they should have won that game, and that just comes down to a kick. You hate to see it. Just so everyone knows, you got sharp money coming in on the Vikings with big money coming in on the Lions, and a lot of top experts are staying away from this game. 78% of the bets and 66% of the money are coming in on the Vikings. And don't get me wrong, it should, because the Vikings are a better football team. I think 7 points, though, is way too many points. Just the way these two teams have been playing, it's just way too many points. I think this is going to be a close game, and I do think the Lions keep it within 7. I'm taking the Lions plus the 7. They have not won a game, but they have been doing great against the spread. I'll even pull up their numbers really quick. Let me go ahead and do that on my nifty computer. Lions are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games. I mean, for a team that can't win a game, that is unbelievable. And I think this plus 7, give me the Lions 7 all day long. Let's move right along on to another two teams that are just absolute stinkers. They are not good whatsoever. We're going to the Giants and the Dolphins. The Dolphins are a 4.5 point home favorite, excuse me. Over under at 41 points right now. You know, if it wasn't for this show where we bet the whole damn board, because we might as well, I would stay away from this game with everything. This is as trappy of a line as I've ever seen. 4.5 points. You hate to see it. You see all the money coming in on the Giants and everything like that, except the public is betting it 80% on the bets and 63% on the money. I hate this, but I do see this as an opportunity to fade the public here. And if you can get the Giants at 5 points, take them at 5. I'm seeing them some books at 5, but 4.5, you might as well take the points and just enjoy your Sunday and know that that one is going to be a complete toss-up, because the best handicappers in the world couldn't tell you what's going to happen in that game. And I'm a mediocre handicapper at that game, and you expect me to tell you what's going on with that game. So we're going to keep moving on for some reason. Shout out to whiskey for another little sip right there. Let's go on next to the Buccaneers at Falcons. Buccaneers are an 11-point road favorite going into this game, total being at 50.5. This Buccaneer, I was very high on them coming into this season and everything. They're going to go 17-0. They're going to do the whole thing, and yet here we are, week 13, and their record is less than stellar. It's 8-3 right now. I mean, it's not less than stellar, but not where I thought it was going to be whatsoever, obviously. And let me tell you, they have not been able to cover these bigger spreads. They really have not. Buccaneers 3-2 in their last 5 games against the spread. Nothing you can complain about, I guess. However, it's just not something that, as a sports gambler, I'm a fan of. With that being said, the Falcons are also 3-2 in their last couple games against the spread. All this comes down to, really, is who do you think's the better team? Really. Because, don't get me wrong, you got Matt Ryan going off these last couple games. Kyle Pitts doing pretty well. Tom Brady doing Tom Brady things and everything. Lenny Fournette just killing it. That offense is so explosive and everything. With Gronk back, I think that's the key. I think that's the key to Tom Brady. When Gronk is back, he has some other set of comfortability that is unfound between a quarterback and another player, I really think. I don't think another quarterback is affected by a player being out like Tom Brady is with Gronk being out. I really do think that Gronk is what holds everything together, whether Tom wants to admit it or not. Gronk's playing. I regrettingly will take the 11 points for the Buccaneers. I'll take them giving 11 points. I think this Falcons team is garbage. They really are. They're garbage. And there's no other better way to really describe this team. I've tried to describe them in a more positive fashion, but I really can't. They're dog shit. It's terrible. Next game we have, I'm excited for. I think this line is grossly just, I mean, it's fine. I see where Vegas got. All right, we're talking about the Colts and the Texans. Colts are an 8.5 point favorite. Total at 45.5. I don't understand what's going on that the Texans are only a 7-point dog against this Colts team that's on fire. I have looked at all the news, I have looked at everything, injury reports and stuff, and I cannot for the life of me figure why it's only a 8.5 point spread, opening at 7 points. I mean, I do, handicapping this game, I do have it at 7 points. I do think the Colts should be a 7-point favorite. But with that being said, I'm not afraid to lay 8.5, 9.5 points with this Colts team. I think this Colts team, even though they're 6-6, they are 500. They have had some rough losses. With that being said, I do think they're one of the more dangerous teams in the AFC. And I think this is where they really put their flag down and say, hey, we're here to play, guys. And that's why I'm taking Colts minus 8.5, 9.5, depending on the book that you're at. But yeah, if you can get an 8.5, love it. 9.5, don't love it as much, but love it more than taking the Texans. Next game, this one is too easy for me. It's my two favorite teams. You got the Cardinals going against the Bears at Soldier Field. Cardinals are a 7.5 point road favorite. 45 is the total. This game's interesting. Interesting. As of this recording, Kyler Murray has not been confirmed the starter, but I don't see why he wouldn't start unless they just want to give him more rest against a less than superior team. I think Colt McCoy could handle this team well. Like I have said on Degenerate Bets and Degenerate Takes for weeks on weeks, literally since the season started, before the season even started, I want the Bears to lose every game imaginable because I need Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace out of the office. It's simple as that. They are terrible here, and they will be terrible wherever else they go. The system that they are trying to do just does not work, and it doesn't work with the quarterbacks that they're drafting, and they've tried two at this point. And so if it doesn't work with two, it's not the quarterbacks, it's the coaching at that point. Get them out of town. I'm taking Cardinals minus 1.5 million. I think they're going to stomp on this Bears team, especially if Kyler Murray is back. But if Kyler Murray is not back, I guess I'll just take the 7.5 that I see it at right now. I think that's my lock of the week, probably, is Cardinals minus 7.5 against the Bears. I don't trust that Bears team whatsoever, especially with Khalil Mack out. Another two teams I don't trust and yet seem to get hurt by a lot. We are talking about the Eagles and the Jets. The Jets. That team is something else right now. Eagles are a 6.5 point road favorite. Total at 45.5 points. And let me tell you, this game has just baffled me. It really has. And if you want to look at even the bets, it seems to be baffling public bettors. You got 62% of the bets on the Eagles and 38% of the bets on the Jets. However, only 51% of the money is on the Eagles and 49% is on the Jets. It's about as split as you can get in sports gambling. And I don't blame them. The Jets have been doing not bad this season, especially when it comes to covering the spread. Don't get me wrong, in their last 5 games, they're 0-4 and everything like that. However, they're 1-4. No, I'm sorry. They're 1-4 road games against the spread. But they're not on the road, so that doesn't matter. This really comes down to which rookie quarterback do you believe in more? And I don't think, and don't get me wrong, I know in the comments section you're going to go, wow, Jalen Hurts is a second-year quarterback. I get it, but he didn't really have a real season last year. This is really his rookie season. Yeah, the Eagles are 5-7. but there is something stupid in me. Just something stupid in me telling me to take the Jets plus 6.5. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the Jets plus the 6.5, and I'm not going to think again about it, because if I think again about it, I'm going to switch. But no, we're going Jets 6.5. Let's keep it moving. How you doing? We got the Jaguars going to the LA Rams. This spread is insane. This spread, you got the Rams minus 12.5, total at 47. The Rams are essentially a 2-touchdown favorite in this game. And so this is the crazy thing. I run my numbers and everything. I have the Rams as a 6-point favorite in this game, meaning the Jaguars, according to the numbers I run, can cover anything over 6 points. But seeing the Jaguars play lately, I don't know if that's true. However, I do think this Rams team is on a downslide, and I do think they keep this downslide continuing. I don't think they lose this game. They definitely win this game. I just don't think it's by 2 touchdowns, and that's essentially what they're going to have to do to cover this spread. I'm going to pray that the spread gets back up to 13.5, but at this time I will take the Jaguars plus the 12.5 and pray. That's all I can do at that point is pray, because this Jaguars team is about as unpredictable as you come, but that's why I love them and I love betting on them. Let's keep it going. The Washington football team. These two teams actually have had a rough season off the field. You got the Washington football team and the Raiders. This is really a team. This is really a game of who has the worst front office, and it's honestly neck and neck. This is insane. You got a lot of heavy money and a lot of sharp money coming in on the Raiders at minus 2.5 with the total at 49.5. And I'm going to have to go along with them. I'm taking the Raiders minus the 2.5. This Washington football team hasn't shown me anything. Like, they've shown me stuff, but it's not enough for me to be like, oh, yeah, let me go ahead and throw a unit on you, bub. Like, yeah, I'm going to bet on you when you're an underdog, especially. I understand it's under a field goal, and that does scare me. However, I don't like that Washington football team whatsoever. And I'm very scared for what their future name will be, because I think Washington football team is a great name. That's another episode for later. And we move on next to the two worst teams in the NFC West. One of them I told you was going to be absolute dog shit. The other one that I'm absolutely beyond ecstatic is terrible. You got the 49ers visiting the Seahawks. 49ers, unbelievably a 3.5-point favorite going into this game. Total at 46 points. I hate both of these teams so much. Like, you don't understand how much I hate both of these teams and wish both of these teams can lose. But unfortunately, we're in a situation where both of these teams cannot lose. You're seeing a lot of heavy public bets and money, 82 and 84% respectively, coming in on the 49ers. Yeah, you fade the public on this one, and you go in Seahawks plus 3.5. The fact that the Seahawks have lost how many games they have at home is unacceptable to them. The 12th man will be alive, and this 49ers team under Jimmy G and Kyle Shanahan is not good. I hate to say this stat, because this stat ruins everything with my campaign to try to get Matt Nagy fired, but Matt Nagy has a better winning record than Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is supposed to be some offensive guru and everything. He can't hang in the NFC West. Simple as that. Not this Trey Lance kid, not with who's the handsome quarterback now? Whatever, you know who I'm talking. Jimmy G. He can't hang with Jimmy G. He can't hang with Trey Lance. This offense and everything is not made for the NFL. It worked for a season, but that's about as far as you're going to get. Give me the Seahawks plus the 3.5 all day. Last one for the afternoon slate. You have the Ravens going to the Steelers. Ravens are a 4-point favorite going into this game. 44.5 points is the total. The Steelers are a bad team. Steelers aren't a bad team. The Steelers have a bad quarterback, and they have a bad quarterback because they didn't have a backup quarterback. And they didn't have a backup quarterback because their main quarterback's been so good. And they didn't have a chance to pick up a quarterback because they've been doing so well for over so many seasons. They didn't have a good draft pick, so they couldn't get a quarterback. And then no quarterback on free agency wanted to go there because Big Ben was there. And so now the Steelers are in this really shitty position where they have no plan for the future. They have no plan whatsoever, and it's being very evident by the fact that Big Ben is playing another year, and he looks like he should have retired 3 years ago. All the respect in the world for Big Ben, but give me the Ravens minus the 4. Lamar Jackson, he seems to be finding his groove. I'm a big fan of it, and we're going to keep it going. I don't like the Sunday night game. I hate this Sunday night game. It's Broncos and at Chiefs. I feel like the Chiefs have had like a 10-game homestand at this point. I feel like every time I turn on the Chiefs, they're playing at home, which good for you, scheduling committee, but let's get them on the road a little bit more, or at least in between a couple more games. You know what I love to say about the Chiefs. It's a 9.5-point game. I'm sorry. Let me go over the lines. 9.5 points. Chiefs are favored over 47.5. This is a very bad Broncos team, but this is not a good Chiefs team, not a Chiefs team that likes to win by a lot of points. Not a Chiefs team that, as on this show, we like to say, they don't like to cover. They don't like to do it, and they're not going to do it. So give me the Broncos Sunday night plus the 9.5. I'm assuming by the time game time rolls around, it'll be at 10.5, 11.5. I'll fucking take it twice, 3 times, 4 times. Give it to me all day long. The Chiefs don't cover. Doesn't happen. Just doesn't happen. I guess I'll talk about this game because it is the last game on the slate, the Monday night game for Week 13. That was the last drink break brought to you by whiskey. Shout out whiskey. Anyway, Patriots visiting the Bills. Bills being a 2.5-point favorite going into this game. I'm sorry, a 3-point favorite going into this game. The total being at 43 points. This is your classic AFC East matchup. It doesn't get any more gritty than this. A Patriots team that has seemed to have found their style to a Buffalo Bills team that has been nothing but dominant up until, a couple games and everything. And, you look at the bets and the money, you see 64% of the bets on the Patriots, 57% of the money on the Patriots. And I do, honest to God, Degens, that this is a good Patriots team. Bill Belichick figured it out somehow. They have a team ready to go, playoff run, all of that stuff. However, the Bills are a more complete team, in my opinion. I do believe the Bills have... I don't even know how to explain it. They just have it. When I watched the Bills play, they had what the Chiefs had three years ago. You watch them play and you're like, wow, that's a football team. That is a team that can score a lot of points and do really good. I'm going to root for them. That's a lot what the Bills have right now. And I think the Bills, honest to God, have one of the more explosive offenses in the NFL. They just haven't had the chance to show it. And they're not going to have a chance against the Patriots. However, I think this is going to be a touchdown game. I don't trust the Patriots yet. I know they're 8-4, doing really good. But with that being said, I'm taking the Bills minus the 3.5. I'm taking the Bills. I got to take the Bills. I don't like it, but I got to take the Bills. I do like it. That's why I'm taking the Bills. I'm taking the Bills minus the 3. With that being said, we do appreciate you listening to Degenerate Bets. If you're not already, please like, share, and subscribe. YouTube, Spotify, however you're listening, however you're watching. And if you like this content, which I know you do, you'd love our content on TikTok. So follow us on TikTok at Degenerate Take 69, where Noah and I post our college basketball picks, along with all of my shirts. That's right. You get your normal shirts of the week with the college football and everything, but I have more shirts that I put out. Shirt is 9-10 right now. I'm not going to lie. Shirt's on a little bit of a losing streak, but we're going to get back on the wagon because that's what the shirt does. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, and we will talk to you next time on Degenerate Takes.